Welcome to Quick Effects.
Quick side note, my green screen is absolutely awful in this video. That is because I kept forgetting to put my main light source on, so I apologize for that. Back to the video.
Welcome to the video series where I show you how to do an effect quickly. So today, we're going to be doing this effect. The body transition, as I like to call it. It's fairly simple. It's all done on a green screen. You just need one green screen and a bunch of friends. Or in my case, one green screen and a bunch of me's. Here is the finished effect. I'm going to show you how to do it. But first, let me drink my tea. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go out and film it. In my case, I am by myself, so I had to film both the main subject and all the background actors. Generally, if you've got enough friends, you won't need this, but I did it by myself, so I will. Now, if it was more than just me, I'd have probably done some sort of pan and followed myself across the screen, but I didn't do that, so this is what we've got. So this is all the media that we're going to need. We've got all of the video files, including the clean slate background. We've got the audio of the drop, and we've got a glitch sound effect and a glitch effect. Simple, really. The glitch effect is from Film Riot's effects pack. You don't need that. You can find a free glitch effect. That's just the one I'm using because it's the one I am familiar with. Put everything but the glitch effect into your Premiere sequence. And we'll start with our clean slate. Stick the clean slate into this timeline, creating a new sequence. We're going to call this sequence transition. Now what we need to do is put in the audio of the drop. Find exactly where the drop is. So just as the drop happens, press M on your keyboard to put a little mark there. So we know exactly where we need to start all our background footage. You're going to bring in the main subject, which is this little guy, me. So we're just going to press W on our keyboard, get rid of the rest of the footage, delete that because we're not using that, and find where we drop. We want the drop to come in just as the elbow leaves my back. So that is where we're going to want the mark to be. So we just move this so that the mark is right on the cursor. Now we just need to put this up as high as we can, because this is going to be the top layer. Unlink it from the audio because we don't need any of the background audio. And we're going to start filling in everything else. So on each bit of footage, we just need to find where we want to start just on the jump. So that's where we want to start him. And we'll start him just as the music drops in. So that as the music, there we go. He drops in, and we're going to bring in the clean slate suite, just so it's easier in After Effects. So I'm just going to do that for the rest of the background footage, and I'll be back with you as soon as I've done that. So now I have placed all of the footage into the timeline in descending order, just so the perspective is right, because you don't want the smaller people to be bigger than the bigger people, and you want them all to be like in the right order. So the smallest people will be below the biggest people. Makes sense. So now let's just show all of these again. Highlight and replace with After Effects composition. And once you are open in your After Effects composition, you can see that they all appear in here. All your good friends are here. So what we want to do now is we want to start keying out all of the green screens. So let's just hide them all, show the background, and show the top one. So what we're doing here is we're going to grab your pen tool, and we're going to draw around the green screen, because we don't need anything else. We just need what is inside this green screen. Then we're going to go into our effects tab, search Keylight, get Keylight 1.2, get your little color dropper, highlight the green screen, and you can see that it goes away, but you can still see the shadows from behind the green screen. So we're going to up screen matte or screen mate or screen matte, and then you're going to move this black one up and the screen gain, trying to get the perfect balance just to get rid of all of the shadows. And that looks good. That looks pretty good. And you want to do that for every single one of the clips. And now that all of this is done, we can see that we now have vaguely, once it loads, because After Effects, there we go. We vaguely have the drop, but it looks like shit. It looks like dog shit. The composition is all off, and it's just shit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through, we're gonna slightly move each individual actor, person, subject, whatever you want to say, me, just to create that slightly better composition. So now it looks okay. Doesn't look fantastic, but it looks okay. What we're going to do is we're going to grab all of the background characters and we're going to pre-comp it. Pre-comp. There we go. So they're now all in this one file. And we're now going to bring in that distortion effect. So drop it in here. And we're just going to find the bit that we want. I like this little section. That's all we need, just this section. But we want to put it underneath. And then we want to put it over. But it's just black. So obviously that's going to have to change. So we go to the mode. And then we click on screen. And then we can, mess around with it and make it, there we go. So it's like, it just covers all of the characters. But it's a bit quick. It's very quick. So let's actually probably extend it. There we go. That looks okay. But doesn't look great yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new adjustment layer. We're going to add it just below the glitch effect. So bring it down. This adjustment layer is going to distort the image. Now, to add this, we go into our effects and search up Displacement Map. There we go. And drop it onto the adjustment layer. We want the adjustment layer to just affect the background. So we don't want it to affect all the background. All we want it to do is affect the characters moving in. So to do this, we shrink the adjustment layer to just cover the characters and just mess with the displacement slightly. So we're going to start off at 0. Right at the beginning. So here it's going to be 0. Click on the stopwatch. And then here, we're going to move it up to probably like, let's say 70. 70 seems good. And then as we get to the end, back to 0. And this is what the effect looks like. There we go. So that's the effect without any additional, flair. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pre-comp this whole thing. Just call it whole thing. Pre-comp the whole thing and zoom in slightly. And now what we have to do is we have to make it look more interesting. Because it's a static shot. It's a very static, locked off tripod shot. We want to make it more handheld to make it more interesting. So click A while you've got the pre-comp highlighted, and then alt-click on the anchor point. You're going to type wiggle, comma, that's not a comma, that's a bracket 2, comma, 12. That is going to add a little bit of wobble. You're going to then do the same thing, but click R, alt-click on the rotation, wiggle, bracket 2, comma, dot 5. And that is just going to make it look slightly more handheld and mint. That's all for After Effects. The rest is going to be done in Premiere Pro. So pretty simple. So save your After Effects, then come back to Premiere Pro, and here you are. So in Premiere Pro, just at the drop, like right here, we're going to click on both the toggle animation for position and scale. As soon as the drop comes in, just here, we're going to zoom in and move to the right. But we're going to ease both of these movements in, so it looks very, very natural. But that seems a little bit too slow, so we're going to bring these closer together. We want this to be a super fast movement. There we go. Perfect. And then, as you can see here, this guy moves out of frame. So while he's out of frame, just as he gets out of frame, we actually want to move the camera here and probably in a little bit more and down just to give them headroom. And that gets eased in as well. And then as we move back here, we want to move... no, we don't want to do that. We want to move back this way and probably out again. And that gets eased in as well. And then just leave it like that. Actually, when he stands up, we're going to bring him down just a bit. That's not down. Down just a bit, just to get his head in. So it's going to have a natural, shaky camera movement. There we go. Perfect. Now, just to make this more realistic. Not realistic. This isn't realistic at all. We're going to add the glitch sound effect. But this one has multiple glitch sound effects, so we've got to find the right one. We're going to use the first one. We're going to use the first one. So right at the drop, add in the little glitch sound effect, and you come out with this. There we go. Perfect. And all that is left to do is go into the color section, go to basic correction, auto-correct that shit, but it's way too bright. So bring the brightness down, probably bring the contrast up a bit, crush the blacks, probably bring up the highlights just a tad, bring the color temperature down, and then bring the saturation up a teeny tiny bit. And do we have any LUTs that we want to use? No, we do not. And just sort of mess around with different sort of color. There we go. That's nice. Just different sort of color variations, just to get the perfect sort of outcome that you want. And that's it. We're done. We are done. This is the whole effect from start to finish. Well, thank you for watching. This has been the first episode of Quick Effects something quick. I don't know. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these, so if you want to watch that, stick around. If you see any effects in TV shows or movies and you think they might be simple, but you don't know how to do them, chuck me a message, and I'll make a video for it, because I've got no subscribers, and I can probably reply to every single one of you. So thank you for watching, and subscribe, and all of that fun stuff. Ciao.